Solve the problem. A carpenter needs to cut a brace to support a wall stud, as shown in the figure. The brace should be 7 feet less than 3 times the length of the stud. If the brace will be anchored on the floor 15 feet away from the stud, how long should the brace be? We've completed step 1. We've read the problem carefully. Now let's go to step 2 and define the variables. I'm going to let x be the length of the wall stud, and 3x minus 7 equal the length of the brace, because we're told that the brace should be 7 feet less than 3 times the length of the wall stud. Now we see here a cross section, which is a right triangle, where x is the length of the wall stud. We know that this brace is anchored 15 feet away from that. And we've got the brace identified as 3x minus 7. We have a right triangle here, and we know that the sides of a right triangle satisfy the Pythagorean theorem that says leg squared plus leg squared is hypotenuse squared. We might think of that as a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So our equation in step 3 is going to come from that. X squared, a leg squared, plus 15 squared, the other leg squared, is equal to the hypotenuse 3x minus 7 quantity squared. Now let's go to step 4 and let's solve this equation. On the left-hand side, we've got an x squared plus 15 times 15 is 225. On the right side, foiling or squaring this binomial, we get a 9x squared minus 2 of the products, 3x times 7. That's a minus 42x and plus 49. So we see we have a quadratic equation. Let's put it in standard form, moving all of our terms to the right so that we have that set equal to 0. Subtracting x squared from both sides, we get an 8x squared on the right. Subtracting that 225 from both sides, we'll have, don't forget your minus 42x, and then a 49 minus 225 is a negative 176. Now let's factor. Each of these terms is even, so let's start by pulling out a greatest common factor of 2. So 0 is equal to 2 times 4x squared minus 21x minus 88. Continuing to factor then, if this trinomial factors, it will factor as 2 binomials. Let's use leading terms, 4x and x. Now factors of negative 88 that will make this work are a plus 11 and a minus 8. Quickly checking our inner and outer products, 11x plus a negative 32x does give a negative 22 or negative 21x. Now using the zero factor property, either 4x plus 11 is equal to 0 or x minus 8 is equal to 0, or both. Solving for x in our first linear piece by subtracting 11, then dividing by 4 gives x is equal to a negative 11 fourths. With our second linear piece, we have x is equal to 8. Now these were lengths in feet, so let's go ahead and assign that unit now. And let's consider this first proposed solution, which is a negative 11 fourths for the length of the wall stud. Well, that dimension is not going to be a negative value, so let's reject this solution right off the bat. For our other solution, if x is equal to 8, remember that x is the length of the wall stud, but we want to find the length of the brace. The brace we defined as 3x minus 7. That's a 3 times 8 minus 7, 24 minus 7, or 17 feet for the length of that brace. So we have our solution, the brace at 17 feet. Let's quickly check and make sure that the dimensions that we have conform to the Pythagorean theorem. We've got the wall stud length 8. So is 8 squared plus the distance or the length of our other leg, 15 squared, equal to 17 squared. Well, that's a 64 plus 225. Is that equal to 289? Yes, it is. 289 on both sides shows that that solution does satisfy the Pythagorean theorem. And so we can say then that the brace is equal to 17 feet.